Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
So, thank you guys for joining us. We're excited today because actually, this is our second live, second live and his first live,
My first.
his first. So, we have some great guests on today, Miss Halisi and Rick.
Yes.
And what we're going to talk about today is Black couples moving abroad and
Mhm.
the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Moving abroad. See, remember that's see.
See, but yeah, because I'm ready. I'm ready. So I want to hear from folks that have actually done it, what it's really like to go, to do this as a couple. Because
Mhm,
doing it single is totally different than doing it as a couple. So,
mhm.
but before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. Welcome to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships. My name is Angela Parker.
And I'm Pierre Parker.
We are a husband and wife marriage and relationship coaching duo. We have been married for 28 years, together for over 30 years.
Mhm.
And it is our goal to help couples love more, communicate more, and build healthy long term relationships. I don't know why that keeps sticking to my tongue.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh. I don't know why either.
But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell,
Mhm.
and we're going to get started with this conversation.
Yeah.
But first, let for those who don't know who Halisi and Rick is from Our Black Utopia,
Mhm.
we're going to go ahead and give you a little bio on them. So
Let me put my
put your glasses
put
on,
my
baby.
peepers on. My peepers. All right, Rick and Halisi are the co-founders of Our Black Utopia and Beyond the Bling, a financial independence course. About 7 years ago, they got a wake-up call. They were quickly approaching retirement age and had very little saved. Not only that, they had a mountain of debt. Whew,
We know about
we know
that.
about that. They realized that if they continued to live and spend the way they had, they would never be able to retire. At the time, they liked their jobs well enough, like me, but also dreamed of traveling throughout the United States filming documentaries. It did not seem like that dream could ever become a reality to them. Thankfully, they changed how they handled their finances and later found the FIRE movement. Um, that was a game changer for them. Now they are retired with permanent residency in Mexico, but living their best lives in Lisbon, Portugal, and traveling throughout that side of the world. So, I mean, they lucky. They lucky.
They lucky, right? That's gonna be us one day, baby.
One
That's
day,
gonna
one
be us.
day.
So let us go ahead and bring on Halisi and Rick, and let's get this conversation started.
Yes, yes.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
Hey, you
Halisi,
guys.
Rick,
Hey,
how
you
you
guys,
guys
how you
doing?
doing?
We're good. We're good.
Wait,
Pierre, we're not lucky.
he not
We're not
lucky.
lucky. We just
Oh,
planned.
No,
Just
We just
plan.
planned.
but yeah,
okay,
Right?
okay,
If we
okay,
can do it,
okay,
anybody can. Seriously.
Yeah, no,
okay.
and I mean, that's the reason why I've been so inspired listening to you guys. I'm like, shoot, baby, we can do it.
I
We can
know.
do
oh yeah.
Look, she got y'all on like
all the
almost
time.
24/7.
Every
So
time
You
I'm like,
know,
Oh,
we're just everyday folk for real.
seriously. And
We're just
yeah.
everyday folk.
and we
And
appreciate that. That's why we listen. You guys are normal people that are doing it. So and you guys make it look easy. So
and you're both from, you're from California, which we can really relate to because, as you know, California, you were down here not too long ago. It's out of control. It is
it's
out of
out of
control. I
control.
Truly.
mean, it's out. I don't know when the last time you actually lived here, but the cost of everything, I'm always surprised that we still survive here. It's ridiculous. So
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. It's crazy. And it's probably about because we're there often, especially when we're in the States. I would
Mhm.
say, because we moved from Colorado, from Denver, Colorado, and it's at least 30 to 40% more expensive in LA
yes,
than Denver, Colorado.
yeah,
So
Yes.
yeah.
even if I had wanted to move back,
Yeah.
No, well, you're
until
not
I got
missing
my
nothing.
condo back,
Right,
The-
we
right,
would,
right.
we would, we were,
Yeah.
No,
that
you're
wasn't
not
going to
missing
happen.
nothing. You're not
yeah,
missing
you're not
nothing.
missing nothing.
Not at all. Not at
So,
all.
so I
I
talked to
did
Rick.
have some questions about some of this though. Can I go
Okay,
ahead?
Okay.
baby, go
Okay.
ahead.
I had some questions. I had questions. Now on here it said you guys you dreamed of traveling throughout the United States filming documentaries.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
So our whole thing is we have a background in film,
Okay.
entertainment, and video and entertainment.
Okay.
And we always, when we got together, that's what brought us together.
Oh, okay.
We were shooting different things and just hanging out. And I mean, this is before we got married. We were friends.
Okay.
We were friends a good 4 years before she told me, twisted my arm and told me, yeah, we got to go and get this done, bro. Put a ring on it, like Beyonce say.
Oh, is that how it went?
That's how it went.
Is that?
Oh, you gonna play like Amnesia?
Okay, let me tell you how it really went down. So what happened was.
What happened?
Look, first week I met him. He said,
she gonna say,
I'm gonna say it because I tell
me?
everybody. He says, if I make $1 million, baby, will you marry me? That's what he said in the first week.
It took me a while to make $1 million.
And then he's like, that was just a joke. But we married, ain't we?
I put a ring on it.
That's right.
As we said. So we got together and we were doing all kind of little projects together, and we decided to cohabitate together at the time and buy a house.
Well, we bought a house together.
We bought a house
before
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We weren't going nowhere after that.
Yeah.
And we just enjoyed each other. We became friends. We then became lovers. We became husband and wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope we've enjoyed most of it, the journey. Sometimes there's rockiness, but
there's always rockiness.
Of course.
We know.
It's been what, 21 years since.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's at least, Rick, that your proposal was better than his.
Here we go.
Oh Lord, Pierre, what did you say, bro?
All he did was say, he handed me the ring. He said, "Let's do this." And I'm like, "Let's do this." But you know what? I wasn't going to turn down the proposal, so I was like, "Okay." But that was his proposal. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do this is an honest phrase. He could have said, "Well, maybe we could do this," but he said, "No, let's do this." So he was.
Let's do this.
That's right. That's right.
So we do have some questions because, like we were talking about earlier, we want to move to Portugal, but doing it as a couple is different than moving abroad anywhere as a single person, because you don't have to think about nobody else. So I'm sure there's a lot of compromise, a lot of discussion. So let's get started on these questions. So I know it's gonna help me, and hopefully it'll help, some other couples out there in the audience. So what have been some of the most exciting opportunities for you when you decided to move abroad together, besides moving out of the United States, because we already know that? But what have been some of the most exciting opportunities for you both?
We've never been asked that question.
Yeah, she comes up with doozies sometimes. You throw me off.
And so we started YouTube before we left. So I don't think that we can count that.
No.
Some opportunities came from YouTube that were unexpected, right? And some of them are making noise in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it too well. We've got the background noise cancellation on. But I think as a couple, because this is one of the things, again, that I did not anticipate, because this is not our first marriage, and because we came to the marriage with kids, right? So we never really had time alone.
Okay.
Okay.
When our youngest went away to school for a bit, but then he came back. Then he brought us behind back, right?
They always come back.
So the unexpected opportunity that I've seen is an opportunity for us to reinvent our relationship and to grow even closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the constant thing too, because I think every time we take a trip together, Every
Mhm.
time we go to a different country or somewhere else, we relearn different things about ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like being together.
Okay.
We like each other's company. We like each other's conversation. And when we don't want to have the conversation at that time,
It's okay.
Mhm.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Being comfortable in the silences as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is important, to be able to be comfortable in those silences. Cause there's a lot of times, cause I'm not, believe it or not, I'm not a big talker.
Mm-mm.
This coming out and doing YouTube has definitely brought me out of my shell.
Mm.
He's the talker, and sometimes he'll just be talking, and I'm just sitting there like, okay.
Yeah.
So he is definitely the one who likes to be out there and talking. So it is nice to sometimes he'll just let me sit in my silence, and that's what it's all about in a relationship. So
Yep.
that's wonderful. So how has moving abroad as a couple enhanced your relationship and strengthened the bond?
I think it makes us realize how important the other is in the
Mhm.
relationship because we have to count on each other before we can count on anybody else.
Yeah.
I have to know that she's there for me and she has to know that I'm there for her in
Mhm.
whatever situation we're in,
Yeah.
secure wise. I mean, she understands the language better than I do.
Mhm.
And I got to give her that. Well, yeah, she does study more, and it's like, but that's her. That's
Yeah.
her. That's her makeup. Me is
Yeah.
like, I'll get it somewhere down the line, hopefully, but
Yeah.
stay close to me in case I need an interpreter.
That's probably gonna be us. Look.
Oh yeah. And so that along with that question, so Halisi, how do you keep him motivated to learn the language? I mean, it sounds like I've heard you say that you know Spanish, so it's a little bit easier for you to learn the Portuguese language.
Mhm.
But how are you encouraging Rick to go ahead and come on, Rick, let's. Are you speaking to him in Portuguese and making him respond
So we
back?
so we have no, but I should. He's not there yet. Because I'm going on this May will be 4 years of studying one-on-one Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So, and at one time I was taking like 4 hours per week
Mhm.
one-on-one for Spanish. And so that, I mean, that
Oh.
just accelerated me tremendous because we were moving to Spain.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Talk
okay.
about compromise. We were moving to Spain or to Panama or Costa Rica. Like, what,
Oh, okay.
Portugal? What the heck? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not in Spanish.
Mhm.
See,
So when I walked around, when I did a Google walk around after he convinced me to look at Christina and Aman from Our Rich Journey and things like that, and
Oh,
I
okay.
Google walked around, I realized that the languages were similar enough that if I
Mhm.
continued with Spanish, that Portuguese would not be that difficult.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I realize is that I've had 10 years of language learning to his 2 semesters in high school.
hello.
And so there's a lot of just the basic things that I still remember that he doesn't remember. And so to me, it's more about what do you need to say on a daily basis? And let's start there and practice there. And then, we go back through the textbook and do that. And I think that as long as I don't do it more than like 15 minutes, he's
Uh-huh.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, because she has a younger brain than mine.
Okay, Rick,
So
I've heard
there's
that
a lot.
before. I've
There's
heard
there's
Halisi say that before, but it's not that
there's
much younger. Come
well,
on.
but okay. So when I was learning about verbs and conjugation and stuff, it was a whole different rule at
Yeah.
that time.
It wasn't a different rule.
It was.
Grammar is grammar, baby.
Well, they changed.
That's a new math, like new math.
Like new math.
New man.
So
Hear that?
there's a
Yeah.
lot
Red.
of things about when she says conjugation, I just look at her and say, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because I have to go back and reach back into the archives, knock the dust off of it, and say,
Yeah.
conjugation. What does that mean? And how? Because
Yeah.
I've been speaking English
English
For,
forever. Yeah.
60-something
for
years.
60 some odd years, and it's like that's what I'm used to. So when you have
Yeah.
to
What
try to
about
learn I know Ebonics, but
Right.
they don't know Ebonics in
Right.
Portugal.
So he's bilingual at least.
Yeah.
And and I've got 2.5 languages, including Ebonics.
So I know I have to work a little.
including the bonnets.
I have to work a little harder in understanding and adjusting
But
than she does.
yeah, I think when we start with the premise of what do you need to say, that helps, because then it's in school you had to learn a bunch of stuff that you believed was unnecessary. It is unnecessary to know this, to say the apple is green. I need to say, I want this plate without the cheese and add the onions.
Right.
That's what I need to know how to say.
Food.
And,
We start with the food.
and
Gotta
then
start there.
when you're talking about romance languages, I don't see nothing romantic about it myself.
This is him making a joke.
I am. But it's like
It is romantic.
it's
romantic language.
it's like when folks are talking, how we just say stuff and it makes sense
Right.
because we're used to hearing it. But
Right.
here they say a little bit more extra. Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Yeah, they do kind of
Oh,
talk.
Instead of saying, where are you, Romeo?
Where you at?
Where you at? They say, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
So our Brazilian friends say, and please, if you're watching this and you're in your Portuguese, we mean no offense. We
No
love
offense
you.
whatsoever.
But our Brazilian friends say that they speak like they're still on horses and riding carriages.
Oh.
So sometimes when you do the translation in the translator apps, stuff does not make sense. It does not translate
It
right.
doesn't translate.
Oh, okay.
So there is a difference, because I've been trying to make sure, because I'm using Babbel right now to at least start the process.
Yeah.
There is a difference between the Brazilian
Yes.
Portuguese and the
Yes.
European Portuguese. And
Yes.
in Portugal, they speak the European Portuguese, correct?
Right.
Yes.
And
Is
in
it
Angola
different?
and in Mozambique. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
there is a difference, and a lot of times Portuguese people from Portugal will not understand Brazilian
And vice
Portuguese,
versa.
and
Oh,
vice
okay.
versa. Yeah.
Portuguese people will be a little bit more likely because there were so many movies made in Brazil versus Portugal. No surprise, more Brazilians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's different verbs, there's different meanings for the same word, and they pronounce things differently.
Okay.
So it has more Latin feel to it. It's more
Okay.
melodic,
It's a romantic language.
like Spanish.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
So what made you go? So you said you were going to start you were thinking about Spain. Whose idea was that? Who was Spain? Who wanted Spain? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he fell in love with Barcelona.
Fell in love with Barcelona.
I liked Barcelona. And even though it was my bucket list city, if it was Spain, to me, Madrid was popping.
Okay.
Madrid was happening.
You missed the water because it's inland, but it was popping.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was going to lead me to a question, because I wanted to ask, whose idea was it, period, to move abroad?
What? Yeah.
Between, I mean, which one of you, who came up with the idea that you were like, I just want to get the hell out of here. I'm tired of it. Let's go.
Well, I think, it was always a hope and a wish. When we took our first real international, and again, no offense, we've been to the Caribbean. We don't count that. Yeah. But once we left North America, right? I grew up in San Diego. Mexico is not foreign. That's the backyard, right?
Right.
So once we took the trip to South Africa, and the people, the culture, everything that was happening when we were there in those days, we were like, we could do this.
Yeah.
We could do this. Like, if they continue on this trend of improvement, this country is going to be amazing.
Wow.
But so that's when we got the first idea. But again, no plan.
Okay.
Then we spent almost a month in Europe in 2018, and he fell in love with Barcelona. I fell in love with Madrid. Loved Barcelona, but it wasn't my top choice. But it's like, yeah, we could do this. So we started looking at properties, because that's what Americans do. We look at properties, right? Don't look at rentals.
No.
Even though that could be less expensive. So we started looking, but again, no plan. And I don't think it was until the pandemic that, and we had the time to start really researching it, that we realized it's a lot easier to immigrate to another country than it is to immigrate to America, because it's hell to immigrate to America.
Okay.
Oh, y'all didn't know?
I'm gonna go shut
No.
I'm gonna go shut this other door to make sure we get more. quiet.
Okay.
So somebody must have come in. But yeah, there is no such thing as a retirement visa to get to America.
Oh,
There's no
okay.
such thing. You have to be sponsored by a job or a refugee, basically.
Wow. Okay.
That's it. That's the only way to get to America.
Hmm.
So, so the idea of a digital nomad visa or the idea of a retirement visa, I had no idea what it took to move abroad. No idea whatsoever. He had no idea until the pandemic, and we started YouTube University.
Right.
Look,
No,
I'm an alumni right there. I'm an
YouTube
alumni.
you.
Yep, I got my T-shirt and everything.
So we actually have a question from Greta. She said, hold on, I'm still learning this, so bear with me, folks. How has being on YouTube strengthened your relationship and communication and seeing and hearing each other?
That's a good question. And wow.
You got her stumped, Greta.
I think the thing about it is Rick is actually the gregarious one in our marriage, believe it or not. You wouldn't know that if you watch our channel, right? But I've been speaking in front of the camera a lot more than he has. He's been singing in front of the camera. I've been speaking in front of the camera, and so I think that for me, it was a lot more comfortable. And he was a lot more insecure about his performance. And so this is the question that we're answering.
Anxiety.
So yeah, you did. But this has given me an opportunity to be his cheerleader for a change, because he's always been my cheerleader.
Okay.
So
That's my job.
Well, now it's my job too.
I appreciate it.
And so he never needed that. But
And you said you said that Rick is a singer or was a singer or
That was like a couple lifetimes ago.
because he's a musician.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my questions coming up. So
okay,
but I might as well ask it now. So being a musician, what's the music scene and what's it like out there in Portugal?
a lot of Afro beats. We get a lot of the concerts. I was actually on our way over here today. I saw the advertisements for Ed Sheeran, and I told her, I said, I would like to see Ed Sheeran. I mean, he's a phenomenal artist. But Ed Sheeran, the Jonas Brothers, different people. Lionel Richie was here last summer, so they get plenty of top tier entertainers. Here all the time.
Yeah, they're not going to get a Beyonce.
They might, down the line.
Yeah, not yet. It's just not enough people. But Madrid gets it, so then we can just fly there for 40 euros. Right?
Not that expensive.
Well, one of the things that my supervisor was telling me, which I forgot actually, that Madonna used to live in Lisbon.
Yeah, she was here last summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what's her name? Nelly Furtado is from there. So that's another artist that was out a while ago. So he was saying that that's one of the things that kind of put Lisbon on the map as well.
Yeah.
So
you said Janet was there?
Yeah, Janet Jackson. And Fado has its roots in African music.
Oh,
so there's the Portuguese influence, but then there's the African influence as well. And so that scene and then the jazz scene here is more than you would expect.
Yeah.
Well, not more than you expect for Fado, obviously, but jazz more than you would expect. But they also have like jazz festivals in the summertime at the parks, free jazz festivals, and all of that. So
I'm supposed to actually be coming out there July 19th to the 21st or something. I guess there's a blues festival or something.
For blues festival. Okay.
A festival in Santa Maria. So
Santa Maria. Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Come on, brother. Come
See,
on.
that
Yeah.
sounds like the
Hey, I'm
Smokes.
hoping that, we don't know. You know how it is in the entertainment business. Things fall through. So
And then my cousins, well, they're not really blood relatives, but
Mhm.
they're doing the jazz festival in Morocco.
Oh.
Big time jazz festival in Morocco, and she just sent me a thing the other day saying, "Hey, we're going to be in Portugal too, so I want to come visit, and we got to hang
yeah.
out and stuff
Yeah.
like that." Because Morocco's right across
Yeah,
the.
hour flight.
It's an hour
Oh,
flight.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know that. Okay.
It's amazing how close things are from Portugal because, being America, we learned geography, but really didn't. I mean, I don't even know if
Oh,
they learned it anymore in school, but it's just amazing
Yeah.
when I hear you guys talk about how close things are,
Yeah.
on that side of the world. So I'm like, oh, that you able to travel, more than you are
oh
when you
yeah.
come from the United States. Because
And not as expensive to do. So,
Exactly.
right,
we were talking the other day because
Mhm.
we've been doing some traveling. We went to South Africa and then,
We had to go to LA.
had to go to LA and stuff like that. But
let's see.
no, we ain't mad. Wait a minute. And then on top of that, we were there in the worst rainstorms that LA has
Oh,
had in 15 years?
yeah, torrential rains.
Torrential rains. It's like, okay, it's
Yeah,
time
while
to
we're
get
trying
the heck
to
out of here.
move the condo, move my mom's stuff, and all of that. But it's
Oh
whatever.
man.
That's because
Yeah.
I
Go
talked to
ahead.
you guys when you guys were out there, and your whole demeanor was totally different than it is now. I was like, oh, they must be back in America. Because that whole demeanor
Like, what
was
the hell?
totally changed.
Let me tell you guys, now that I've got my mom and my dad situated, and my mom's been to more doctor's appointments in the past
Yeah.
since I've been gone from LA than she went for the whole year. I can't wait to talk to her to talk about, you see how you weren't taking good
How
care
you
of
weren't
yourself?
taking care of
Yeah.
yourself.
And
Yeah.
that's a
Hard
question.
headed.
That's the difference.
Hard headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a question for him. Go ahead. You ask your question, baby.
Well, yeah, that was gonna be my question. How hard was it and how was it? Well, listening to what Halisi was saying, but how hard was it to leave, your family and to go abroad and stuff? Because, like in my case, I'm an only child, so my dad and my mom are still alive. My mom is actually going through cancer right now. So, but I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I don't want to up and just leave them because my dad is like I'm all my dad pretty much has.
Yeah.
So, what in your case, and we got kids, we got kids.
I'm not
and-
worried about the kids.
Look, she
They are grown. One is 30, one 35, one is 25.
Able-bodied, able-minded.
Able-bodied, yeah. There's
Yeah.
airplanes all day long. You
Yeah.
can catch a flight to Lisbon.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just make sure they got their
I'm an
passport.
yeah, exactly. I'm an only child too.
Oh, okay. Hey.
and spoiled according to my mom. So the question is, and this is what I had to ask my mom, and I had already asked my dad. I said, would you have preferred for me to have moved back to LA to take care of you rather than move to Portugal? She's like, oh, by no means. I want you to live the life you want to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want you to pay for my life. She didn't say that last part, but it was implied.
We did it.
It was implied.
Yeah.
Because that's what was happening.
Oh,
But
okay.
so if you ask, do we want our kids to give up their dreams to take
No.
care of us?
No,
So what would make us think that our parents want what we wouldn't want?
exactly.
And
Yeah.
my dad kept saying, I just don't want to be a burden.
Mhm.
Right.
And
yeah.
thankfully, he listened to me and got that government job at the end of his career. So he's got a nice pension.
Oh, okay.
And right. And so, he's not a burden to me,
Right.
Yeah.
but it is my responsibility to make sure that he is taken care of well.
Taken-
And so
Okay.
that's what I do. And we have check-in calls once a week, and I have the video calls,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I, can see the medicals. Everything's online.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
see the medical stuff online. I make their doctor's appointments. She takes them, and she calls me, and she gives me the update, what they said. Of course, I can read online what the notes are,
Right.
but and so she She took my dad out to dinner, jazz supper club for his birthday.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Now
Nice.
I get to be the daughter who sends toys and who sends clothes and things like that for his birthday and calls him happy, as opposed to stress the out
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and not wanting to do anything for his birthday.
Or
Exactly.
like yesterday.
Mhm.
So from midnight, well, actually from 11 o'clock p.m. our time in Portugal to 1 o'clock our time in Portugal, my sister lives in LA County.
Uh-huh.
She has MS. She really
Mm.
hardly ever leaves the house or anything like that, but she lives through me.
Okay.
She lives
Oh.
through pictures that I send. She lives through videos that I send. Because I
And
know
the
my
Facebook
sister,
stuff.
Facebook stuff and different
Yeah.
things, conversations on the phone, because I know my sister is not going to get on a plane and fly to Portugal, or even though she can. She's been
Yeah.
offered. We said, you know what, baby?
We'll pay.
You want to come? You come.
Yeah.
They got wheelchairs, they got hospitals, they got everything you need to
Right.
have taken care of you there. You want to come? You come. We'll take
Yeah.
care of you. You're good. You're good. I know she's not going to do that.
Yeah.
And
No.
sometimes she just needs to know that my little brother is over there living the life that he wants to live with the woman that he loves. And they're living a life of Riley, so to speak,
Yeah.
and enjoying Europe and everything that I probably will never see outside of a picture or videos, or him telling me how it is.
Yeah. So
And
she appreciates that
appreciates it.
living vicariously. Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing it. And I said, I'll just keep sending more pictures.
And I have a feeling that if she didn't have MS, she still wouldn't. She would not be on the bandwagon for moving over here. Now she might visit. She might have visited, but
Yeah.
that's her personality, right?
Okay.
But she can appreciate it for us.
Okay.
So we have a question from Jess. Around how many months did it take you until you felt comfortable with your new country? Like I know where to go to get this and that.
That was pretty quick, don't you think?
Yes and no. So I would have said like a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
But when I think back about having that conversation with the photographer who took our pictures for the Wall Street Journal article,
Oh,
and I was like, where can I get some decent sheets and towels? Like, I don't want to pay IKEA prices for substandard stuff. And then the stuff in Continent is like Target stuff. It's,
yeah.
And she's like, well, why haven't you gone to your neighborhood stores? And in America, the neighborhood stores are the expensive stores, and the inexpensive stores are the chain stores. Here, it is the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So whereas we thought we were comfortable and we knew what we were doing, it wasn't until we started really talking to locals that we understood that, the way that you get stuff and do stuff in America is not necessarily the best way to do it here. You can do it that way. You can order on Amazon. It's going to cost you more. You can go to the American store. You can go to Corte Inglés and all of the other chain stores. But if you want the best fruits and vegetables, get your butt up and go to the farmer's market every morning, because every neighborhood has their own farmer's market. If you want the best pots and pans, you need to walk your neighborhood. You know the brands. And when he looked online for the pots that our landlord loaned us, which are really nice, heavy, they don't burn easy, the good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a Portuguese brand. He looked online. The little bitty pot was like 40 euros.
That was expensive.
Just for one pot. The littlest pot.
Yeah.
I walked down the street and he's got all of them in the window, the same pot for $14.99.
Oh.
So
and it's a little dark, dank, ugly store.
that's not open. That's not open always in normal hours.
Those hours are suggestions.
They're suggestions.
So you have to think differently. You have to be patient, and if you want the good prices, you keep passing by, and when you see him open, you go in there and get your pots, right, for the good price. So things like that have taken a while, because that's just not the way
we're
we do
used to
it
doing
anymore.
it. Yeah.
Like maybe in the 50s, that was the way you did, but certainly not.
Okay.
So it sounds like they really support the smaller stores instead of trying, like America, we support, well,
We don't
the
get a choice.
consumer, yeah, the
Yeah.
consumer supports the bigger stores, but not the mom and pops. It sounds like it's just the opposite, you
Yeah.
know, in Lisbon and
Yeah.
Portugal.
Yeah, I mean your major stores, of course, you got your Targets, you got your Walmarts, you got how many others you can count them. You don't have enough fingers to count the big major stores on.
Yeah.
They don't have that here, so to
Yeah.
speak. You have your
Okay.
continent. You have your Pingo Dos grocery store.
Yeah,
You
those are
have
grocery stores.
you have your Alshan grocery stores and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they have big versions and small versions, but there's not like 50 different large chain grocery stores in
Okay.
Portugal. You
Okay.
can't do that.
Or
They
even
don't
one
have
like Kroger that owns everything.
That owns
right?
everything. You don't have
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. But continent, I think, would be the closest to a super
a
Target.
super Target. Yeah.
Okay.
And of
Yeah.
course, they've got IKEA because that's European.
Yeah. IKEA is everywhere.
You know,
Right.
Okay.
and they've got Pull and Bear and all those, mall stores and stuff like that. All those mall stores, H&M, all that. That's here.
Oh, okay.
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 See, I would have to find some place that has music equipment, though. See,
They've got that. They've got
They have plenty of
vinyl.
them.
They've got all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find them. There's
Yeah.
plenty of
Find
musicians
stuff
here.
cheaper.
I
You
would
think?
hope
I
we have
mean,
some
They
Pierre,
have a
Pierre,
lot of.
do
Are
you
you
think there's no
familiar?
musicians in
Are you
Portugal?
Are you familiar with Fado?
Yeah, we were talking
No.
about that just a second
Fado?
ago.
Fado.
No.
It's
Portuguese
It's a
blues.
Portuguese blues.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's Portuguese blues.
Okay.
And it's amazing. They have a Fado museum
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Lisbon, and
Wow.
I mean it's amazing music. A
Mhm.
lot of people come here to listen to the Fado, and there's all kind of music here. Most
Okay.
of the times, the music that you hear playing in different venues and stuff like that is American music.
Okay.
Okay.
But I appreciate their local music as well.
Okay.
I like it. It's a
Mhm.
kind of like a Latin because it's a Latin feel to it, and of course they rap. All the whole globe raps.
Everybody raps.
Everybody
So
raps.
rapping in Portuguese, baby, rapping in Portuguese.
Jess says Fado music will make you cry.
You got to understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All Greek to me.
Well, you
It's
have
I
all
think it's
that.
beautiful.
You have all that here.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you don't find it here and you want to find it somewhere else, what? France is a couple-hour flight away. Italy
Okay.
is a certain amount, an hour flight, 2-hour flight. You can go anywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
So
Anywhere in
that
Europe.
means you can play anywhere, baby.
You can play anywhere, bruh. As they say in the UK, brother.
Bro,
Come on, bruv.
bro.
Bruv.
Bruv.
Bruv. Come on over, bruv.
So did I ask this question already? So what were some of the challenges you faced as a couple while relocating?
You haven't asked that.
Hell, what kind of challenges we have, baby girl? My son is calling.
The challenge was a division of labor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expound
So
on that.
start it like you want to progress and end it.
Mm.
I did not. I did everything. And then got pissed off about it. So that was definitely a challenge. It's like, look, I didn't leave 70 hours plus 20 hours with my dad to do the same thing in this transition.
I was on the retirement mode.
We were both on retirement mode. But so that was a challenge. And we had to address it.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
to.
And say, look, I can't, and I'm not going to do everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And he said, well, baby, you're better at it. Don't give me that.
She is. She
Don't give
honestly
me
is.
that. Don't give me that.
You are.
So I think because I'm the one really initiating the move, I've taken on the challenge of, learning from you guys, learning from other folks, and then making calls. And, I've already talked to an immigration lawyer, the one that you guys suggested. And so I don't mind taking on that. because as long as he gets, because we're going to actually have to move at separate times because again, like we said, his parents, and he, you know, and I understand both my parents have passed away. So I understand. And me, I'm like, our kids are grown. So I'll be the one moving first, getting everything settled. And then he'll move, you know, when he can. But so in that aspect, I've taken on the challenge that, okay, I'll do this, this, and that. And you just make sure you get down there, you know, don't turn around and say, well, nope.
So you need to talk now about what the plan is for your parents.
Yeah.
And there was no plan for my parents. My parents had no plan.
No.
I asked my mom, I'm like, what did you think? You were just going to stay in this apartment till you die?
I think she was planning on staying to the apartment until she died.
And she would have died sooner than later because of the way she wasn't taking care of herself.
She wasn't taking care of herself.
Right? So make a plan while people have got their stuff together, because we make a lot of assumptions and don't work out that way.
Yeah, we know his dad is stubborn.
My dad's stubborn. I can't even get my dad just to talk about just regular retirement stuff and will stuff. You know, like, look, man, I need to know something. I don't know nothing.
Right.
If he doesn't want to talk about it, why do you think it's your responsibility then to try and fix that?
Yeah, you can't do anything if he doesn't want to.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So when my mom refused to talk about it, I said, fine, you on your own.
Yeah.
Then she'd be calling me,
So you got to get more like
because I tried to tell you, but you weren't trying to hear it, and now you're feeling the pain, and you want me to clean up your mess. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem.
Right.
Yeah,
they're grown. I mean,
right?
Well, I mean, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair for you to just, you're sitting around, okay, what we gonna do? And then as things deteriorate, and then you're having to do stuff on the fly, and you got your life on hold while no. I'm sorry. I mean, it's one thing if they're not capable of having the conversation because they've already lost capacity, right? Yeah. That was my dad.
Yeah.
But if they haven't, like my mom, and they're just being stubborn, like my mom.
Yeah.
Which almost sounds like your dad is being stubborn.
What did I
doesn't
tell
want to
you?
give up control.
I told him she had to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
She fell out in the dollar store.
Oh.
Got hospitalized. I said, okay, you've been hospitalized twice this month. That's it. I'm taking control. Get a power of attorney now.
Yeah.
Get
your power of attorney now.
So when it was time, and I said, that's it. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's, I would definitely suggest that, Pierre, if you don't have a get power of attorney, sit down with him and say, look, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because if he gets to a point, if it ever comes to a point, God forbid, that he gets incapacitated mentally, physically, or whatever, and he can't do it, it's going to be a hell of a struggle for you to get control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Come to an agreement now, Dad. You're in your right mind. I'm in my right mind. Let's get this. Let's figure this out.
Because it's the only child too.
Yeah.
He ain't got no choice.
You got to
It's either you or it's the government. Ask him, who does he want control if he doesn't have capacity?
Exactly.
You or the government. Because that's how it's going to be. And it can happen like this. It can happen in a car accident.
Yep.
See, we all think we're, I'm fine. I take care of myself. I do this, I do that. But a car accident could change all of that. And we have no control over that.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
definitely look into that and take advantage of the whole situation and get that together.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go the other way and all of a sudden you got to come up with this and that and try to prove who you are and everything else. Get that power of attorney.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to go and do anything against him in a nefarious way or anything.
Right.
I know.
He has to know that.
I'm trying to get him to understand that. But
if he doesn't trust you in that, sometimes it just takes that tough love to say, if you can't trust me in that,
let the government.
I gotta let you. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And maybe that's what he. Yeah, I was thinking maybe that's what he doesn't realize, that if he doesn't get this in order
Mhm.
and let you know what's going on, and you're not power of attorney. Maybe he doesn't realize that, hey, the government will come in and say, well, you know what?
Yeah, I'm looking at
They're gonna do what they want to do.
I'm looking at
See?
just
Everything's in
say-
probate.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
probate. Yeah.
everything's in probate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there.
No, it
You
doesn't.
know, we put everything, we put our properties and everything in a trust.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to go there.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jess is saying, Angela, do you have a date? Yes, I do have I have a tentative date, which is for me, June of 2025 to move out there after his birthday. So that's my tentative date right now. I'm coming out there.
Notice how she make that my birthday present?
No, I said after your birthday. After your birthday.
I know, after my birthday
I
present.
told
Like,
you
babe, I
we
love
had
you.
to
Happy birthday.
move before his birthday, so we had his birthday
Yeah,
here.
we celebrated my birthday here.
That's right.
We got in a car accident, but we
Oh,
celebrated.
we didn't get in a car accident. The Uber driver got into
Uber
a
driving car accident.
We didn't have to be in the car. We were riding.
Wow.
I had a good birthday though. It was good.
Actually, that's a good question. So out there, do you guys drive out there or no?
No,
Mm-mm.
we
Okay.
don't. We don't. We have friends that do. I mean, a lot of people, some people, we don't want a car payment. We don't want insurance payments. The
Okay.
transportation here is very
Excellent.
good.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can catch metros. You can catch Coimbios trains. You can catch airline flights. Everything is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay.
Ferries, trams, trolleys,
everything.
buses, like you do not need a car. You
Yeah,
really
you
don't need a
don't.
car.
Yeah.
So we know some people, and plus they drive crazy.
Yeah, they drive stupid. And the streets are not American streets.
They're windy. Some of them
And
are
they're
still
small.
cobblestone.
And they're small, and they let people park anywhere the hell they want to park.
Wow.
Okay.
Look, I just
Now-
came back from Mumbai, India, 2 weeks
Okay.
last week.
And well, there you go.
Oh my God. Oh,
Now it's not that bad,
No,
okay.
maybe not as bad.
but Johannesburg, downtown Johannesburg is. Downtown
I've been to
Johannesburg,
Johannesburg, and that was pretty bad. Yeah.
is, right?
Mm.
They drive on the wrong side of the street anyway.
Right, and they're driving on. So they do in India as well
In
because
India.
they were
India,
colonized
India
by-
was
right?
I can't even go back to thinking about it. It was like literally like a video game.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, exactly.
This
Yeah.
is more like Manhattan.
Okay.
Never driven to
Okay.
Manhattan, but I can imagine.
I haven't either. Don't want
you
to.
probably don't want.
I've
Been in
ridden
those
in a car
taxis.
in Manhattan, and yes.
Exactly.
So what did you guys do with your cars?
Sold them.
Okay.
Sold them. Got the money.
That was that helped
The-
defray the cost of the move.
Uh-huh.
But we planned that.
Yeah,
That was
we-
part of the budget.
We went through
Okay.
our broker that helped us purchase our cars, and the same broker who we've been trying to get to retire for the longest because he has too much money. And he needs to retire, and he's 75 years old, and he still goes to work every day
Wow.
selling cars.
and then he asked us, "Is this all there is?"
Is this all there is?
No, man,
It's like,
not.
if that's what you want,
Stop it.
you
Well,
want
first buy back our cars, and then
to
stop
buy
it.
back our cars. And if you want them to find you in your bedroom in your house, hey, that's what it is.
Oh my God.
But you
Wow.
don't have to.
No.
You don't have to.
So when you guys moved over there, how was it as far as, did you guys bring a lot of stuff from here as far as, moving? I know not furniture, but I'm just saying your move. Did you just sell everything and was like, damn it, I'm just going to start over there? Or did you bring some stuff from here?
Clothes.
We bought clothes.
Some personal stuff.
We brought some kitchen stuff.
Small stuff.
We brought artwork.
Mhm.
I gave away all of my books except for the signed copies and the first editions,
Mhm.
which are still they're in the shed.
They're still in the shed. We still
in,
them home
in our house. But as far as anything else,
furniture and
was
stuff,
given
no.
away,
Oh, yeah.
Furniture and stuff, no.
and most of the kitchen stuff too
Yeah.
was
Okay.
given away.
They have stores here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy anything and everything you want almost here.
But I just bought a brand new thing of silverware. Y'all, I had extra sets of the dishes we owned that were unopened.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had an extra set of silverware because in case we have a dinner party with extra people, blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
I just brought the new set of silverware that was unopened.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how we were spending money back in the day.
But you know,
Okay.
That's why we were in debt.
you don't need to ship your car over here. You don't need to ship all your. I mean, that's what you want to do. If you want to bring, we did a video saying, do not bring your American life
Yeah.
Here. Right.
Here.
Start fresh.
You don't want to do that. We know of people that ship a horse over here.
Oh.
It's
A
like
horse?
y'all ain't got nothing better to do with your money than ship a horse.
Ship a
Costs
horse, right.
$10,000.
That's their
Ooh.
pet. That's their pet.
But
And,
that's their
Oh.
thing.
you know,
If
and-
it brings you joy, it brings you joy.
and if people want to ship, there is an inexpensive way to do it if you don't need it right away.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, if you've got a huge record collection and
Yeah.
you're not giving it up, or, you know, we know someone who's moving
Instruments.
here with a bunch of instruments. He's got like
He's
a
got
guitar
guitars
collection.
galore. He's
Yeah.
And
been
so
collecting.
they're paying a lot more to rent space,
But
that
that's-
has the space for that.
That's his thing. It brings him joy.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I would look at is bringing like some of my studio equipment and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
But when you bring that kind of stuff, you have to stop and realize too. You have to consider the space
Yeah.
that you're moving to
And electricity.
and electricity.
Mm.
So you got your conversion of electricity, and you got your space that you're living in. So
Okay.
a lot of I used to have to dress in suits every day. That was my job.
Mhm.
My company paid for my suits. I had a closet,
Full
a
of
walk-in
suits.
closet full of suits.
Okay.
When I went to Goodwill, because I didn't sell them, I
Mhm.
just went to Goodwill and said somebody else could use these. And
Yeah.
the brother that met me when I was giving my suits, man, the biggest smile came. He said, "Bro, these are new suits." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I don't need them."
I ain't wearing this stuff.
He's like, "Oh
I'm not
my
wearing
God." Yeah, because where am I going to put them?
Right.
Your closets aren't as big.
Yeah.
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 you
I mean,
know.
you can spend more and get an
You can-
American
yeah,
size
you
closet.
can.
If
Yeah.
that's what you want to do. But we downsized everything. We had bigger lights. Now our lights are like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so
Microphones fit in a little case like this
Yeah.
when we're traveling. So you downsize a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
fit your lifestyle to where you are.
Right.
Okay.
And it's not that it's diminishing your lifestyle or anything else, because most of that stuff you don't wear no more.
you didn't
Yeah.
wear it. You
You
didn't
didn't
look
wear
at
it.
it. You haven't read it. You haven't watched it. It's just sitting there
It's just
collecting
sitting there.
dust.
Why you
Right.
looking
But
at
it's
me?
mine. But it's
Wait.
mine. And it's like,
What you up to?
I
Pierre,
have-
what you done did?
I had a DVD collection.
You know, this is like
collection that
really-
was out of control. I had a book collection that was out of control.
Yeah.
And when it all came down to it, the only books that I referred to on a regular basis, those are the ones I kept. The DVDs, I don't even have anything to play them in.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
ones that I had, the electronic, the digital copy, that's nice. So now I still got the digital copy, and I gave them away to God kids and everything else.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just different priorities. And in America, I think that it's like he who dies with the most stuff wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Europe, it's like we don't care.
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't care about that.
They're more about experiences.
They want to spend quality time with loved ones and stuff like that, to where my stuff.
Because they don't have a lot of space for a lot of stuff.
No.
Oh,
And
For
that's
the
one
most
thing.
part.
That's one thing I'm grateful about, because the house we live in is over 100 years old. So we already have very small closets. I'm not a big shopper anyway. So that transition for me wouldn't be a big deal, because we've lived here over 20 years. So we're used to the real small closets. And periodically, like every year or something, I'll go through his stuff. When's the last time you wore this? So I'm the one, I can get rid of stuff. He's the one who's a little more of a pack rat. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, nope, let's go. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
So-
Because men, we say, well, you know what? I ain't wore that in like 12 years, but
But I might.
I'm like, yeah,
Might
it'll
come
probably
back,
be back.
right?
It'll be back next week. I can wear it. I
Exactly.
might
I'm
wear it.
back. I'm gonna fit right in this thing.
And we never get back to it, and it still ends up there. So if you did get rid of it, we wouldn't notice it.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
notice it.
Exactly. When I moved my dad, he literally had clothes in his closet that were mine from high school.
Oh
He
my
had disco
God.
explosion clothes.
And this, I moved him in 2018. I moved him in 2018. What do you need all this crap for?
Exactly.
Why are you keeping
No.
this?
I mean, I look at the clothes in my closet now, the stuff that I did keep,
Yeah.
and I still haven't worn half the stuff since we've been here. I mean, I have a lot of warm up outfits and stuff like that I do wear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, I said, well, I'll bring 3 suits with me. I'll bring a black one. Well, they always say, have a black suit. Gotta
Mhm.
always have a black suit, son.
Black suit.
A blue suit, a black suit, and I have 2 gray suits. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I haven't really went anywhere where I need to be dressed up in a suit, but I do if I need to.
Right.
If I need a tuxedo, I'll go rent one.
Okay.
Exactly. He don't wear suits anyway, so it's
Yeah,
all
I
I have a
threads.
black suit, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't wear that
Yeah,
stuff.
you always have a black suit.
Yeah.
I just kept my favorites of everything. So now all I wear is my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have I guess a question for Catrice. The humidity is different. So did you buy a new wardrobe? Is it different in
No.
California? Because she's from California too. Is it different from California? The
Well,
humidity?
so there is no humidity in Colorado.
Oh,
And
okay.
I would say it's probably more, even down here, it's probably more Bay Area humidity than
Right.
Southern
Okay.
Okay.
California.
Then we're used to that.
Because there's not a lot of humidity in the Bay Area.
No.
No, I mean it's not as
Well,
dry
it's
as
the most-
Vegas, but
Right.
Right.
But so I didn't think there was any humidity in California. And to hear people from the South and back east is like, yeah, and you need the good lotion and all of this, right? But then when I moved to Denver and my legs turned into reptile legs,
oh, so it's
I
real
was
dry.
like, yeah. So then when we would come back for like family reunions, so I'm like, oh my God, it's so humid. But it's still, I would say it's a little bit more humid here, but
Okay.
it's nothing like that walking into the wall that you do
No.
in Louisiana,
Yeah.
Texas, and places
Uh-uh.
like that. No, nothing
Okay.
like that.
Not
Well,
at all.
what's the average temperature out there?
Well, in the winter, I would say during the day, 50s.
50,
Yeah.
low 60s.
Yeah. It rarely gets into the 40s during the day.
Okay.
Right now we're in rain.
Yeah,
So
and
we're
it's
in
probably
the kind of rainy season. So
it was 60 today.
it was 60,
Okay.
but it started out like 52 or something like that. And the sun
Okay.
would come out and it's like, oh, we're gonna have a beautiful day. And all of a sudden it's
The
like,
rain
don't
cloud.
get happy because it's gonna
that's just
rain.
like here.
It's just like California. It seems
As
like.
they
Yeah.
say in Portugal, we have coastal events.
Yeah, I guess it's a coastal event.
It's a coastal event.
There's always going to be a
It's like,
coastal
okay, we're
event.
gonna get rain.
So, and then during the summertime, it actually gets quite hot.
It
Okay.
does get hot.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
before you. What's quite hot? He hates
Never over. I don't think we get. Maybe if we even get 100.
I don't think we got 100
I
in
don't think
Lisbon.
we've reached 100.
It gets 100 in Portugal, but I think on average, like 88 to 92
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that-
we got
yeah.
the Atlantic Ocean and the Teju River and
Helps
stuff
with
like
the
that.
breezes and
So
things
you
like
get
that.
breezes
Okay.
off of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
But
a lot like here. So
Yeah.
I could deal with
Yeah,
that.
it's
really
not like.
getting
Are you guys in the
dry
Bay?
heat.
Are you guys in the
We're
Bay
in the Bay
Area?
Area.
We're in Oakland.
Oh, okay. So, because I was like, it's not like the Valley in LA.
No, we're
where,
not in the
you know,
valley. He wouldn't survive.
like where
that
you
way.
get like the 110 and stuff like that.
No, we're in the Bay Area.
Not at all.
Pierre, you'll come here and you'll see the Abril 25th Bridge, and you think you're in
In
San Francisco.
In San Francisco, yeah.
Because it looks just like the Golden Gate Bridge.
The Golden
Okay.
Gate,
Not as
yeah.
large, but it
Yeah.
looks just
Yeah.
like the Golden Gate Bridge.
Exactly.
Okay.
You'll be
Okay.
like, I'm back in Frisco.
You'll be back. You'll feel right at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like,
And
Portugal
most of
down.
the black folks live on the other side of the bridge, just like in the Bay Area.
That's right.
right. All of us, we live in Oakland.
right?
Can't afford San Francisco. So how did you guys manage the stress of moving together as a couple? Because I know there had to been some stress.
There was stress. There was stress. But I think because it was so much less stress than it was when we were working, we were just appreciative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my biggest stress is not moving or being in a different country. My biggest stress is just traveling.
The act of travel,
The act of travel.
going through
Yeah.
TSA,
Yeah, that
That's
stresses me
too.
out.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But
But the
being
being
here,
there.
because anytime, even going back to LA
Mhm.
or Colorado or anything like that, it's like I can't wait to get back to Lisbon. I want to go home. I want to be back in Lisbon. I want to be back in my bed. I want to be back in our apartment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not stressful. I'm not stressful because I understand all the different places that I need to go. I understand how, if I need to go to the doctor or I need to have my appointment set up to go to the doctor, I know how to get to the hospitals. I know how to, what transportation I need to take and stuff like that, which was really never a stress to me. It was because she left me on my own. It's like, bruh, you got to figure this out. Because I ain't gonna figure these trains out. One time I got lost on the train, the metro. I think I was lost for like a half a day. She never sent anybody out to find me.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out.
I was somewhere. I was like, I don't know where the hell. Am I still in Portugal?
Look, at the very least, you can take an Uber home. Look,
Yeah. At the very least, I could call Uber or Bolt and say, "Okay, take me home."
I think there's a couple of things that people need to keep in mind. One is have your money straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because usually stress comes from that, right? What else is stressful? That money can't fix.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And so,
That's true.
We went over budget. That didn't feel great, but it's like we good.
Yeah.
Like if I when I wanted to get stressed out about it, I would say, well, we still have 2 years worth of living expenses plus your Social Security check coming in.
Right.
That's not touching the investments or not selling the house. Sis. Right?
Yeah.
We're okay.
We're good. We're okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think if people didn't have money stresses, they probably wouldn't have too many stresses.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's not a lot that money can't fix.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Money can't buy the bullshit. Yes, it can.
You can buy comfort.
It can buy some happiness. Now, there's a point where you reach diminishing returns, right?
Right.
But there's a big difference between people's lifestyle at 50,000 and trying to make that happen, and people's lifestyle at 150,000.
Right. Yeah.
And I bet you the people at 150,000 are a lot more happy and a lot less stressed, depending on their job, than the people making 50 and trying to make that money last until the end of the month. So I think that having this move and knowing that there's going to be unexpected costs, that you can't plan for every single eventuality, but the plan for those things is to have a pot of money for incidentals. Right.
And Angela, one of the things you asked about the stress thing, one of my biggest stresses was returning to LA. And I just stressed out that if I had to go to the hospital,
Oh, okay.
how much it was going to cost me. And I have Medicare.
Full Medicare.
Right.
I have full Medicare Part B. And I ended up having to go to urgent care.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, hell, this is going to cost me a couple $1,000s. I know. It just is. I just know because I'm in America.
Right.
It didn't. The bill came to $1,000. I don't know why. Cost me $1,000, but I didn't have to pay that out of pocket. Medicare covered most of the cost. My cost was $50 of it. And I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had the same thing done in Portugal, it wouldn't have been nowhere near $1,000.
Oh, it would have been 150.
It might have been €150, and my cost would have been €20 at the most.
Okay.
Right.
That's my biggest stress is if I have to go to the United States again, And if I get in an accident or if I have to go to emergency or anything,
Right.
I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Well, we
can't
can.
afford that.
We can't afford it, but we
Oh,
don't
well,
want
we
to
can afford it, yeah, but I don't want to have
But
to
you don't want to have
come
to
out
pay
of
it.
I
pocket
don't want to
for
give
it.
Yeah, exactly.
my vacation money to them.
I don't want to have to say, baby, we can't go to Paris this
No,
week.
we're trying to get to Thailand
Yeah, we can't go to Thailand this week.
for their birthday. So yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the medical procedures and stuff like that, just being able. And I told my nephew, I said, dude, it's not that I left the United States because I didn't like the United States. It's because I can't afford to live there.
Yeah.
I
That
can't afford it.
that. And
Yeah.
that's what I've
Plus,
been saying. And we can't afford to live, and we would never move to another state because there's no other state I can think of that. I've lived in North Carolina. I'm like, that's not for me. And California would be it, but we can't afford California. Not to, okay. Let's put it this: we can't afford it to and be comfortable
Come,
and at peace.
right.
And that's the biggest thing for me right now is I want to be
Yeah.
at peace.
I don't know how you are. I am never at peace in the United States.
Mhm.
Action DJ asked us if
Y'all going
if
to
we're
Thailand? Action VJ, we are going. Well, we are
It's up to the boss
planning
here.
to go to Thailand.
So,
We're going to check it out. It's on the list.
It's funny you asked that, Action BJ, because Mel and Tadasi are here today, and they're the ones that invite us to go to
Yeah, so
Thailand.
they're the Howard's Worldview.
Yeah. So I was talking to Mel about that today. I said, I think we might be going to Thailand with you guys.
Yeah, so
Nice.
50th
Nice.
birthday. See, this is what we get to
This
do.
is what we get to do.
We get to hang out with folks who spend their 50th birthday in Thailand.
I
Nice.
can't wait. I can't
And
wait.
so I was checking out tickets, and I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get the economy ticket, but the economy tickets right now are going for like €680.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Round trip.
Now
Oh,
from the
that's
United States, that'd be like a
thousands.
1,500. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy.
One way.
Easy. One.
Yeah,
Oh.
one way.
So, yeah.
Well, real quick
Oh, go ahead,
before you go
baby.
to the next
Go ahead.
question, because you touched on the medical part of it. So, how is the whole medical? How does that all work out there in Portugal?
Hospitals in Portugal are, I believe, last time I looked, it's been a while ago, we're number 12 in the world for healthcare,
Okay.
for hospitals. I mean, they're fantastic hospitals. They're modern hospitals. They're not third world or anything else. You think anything outside the United States is a third world thing. It's not that at all.
This is Western.
Brainwashing.
This is Western Europe. So, I've had colonoscopies. I've had, a colonoscopy. I've had MRI. I've had different scans for different
EKGs.
things. EKGs. EKGs is an automatic part of your checkup.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
okay.
So when I was doing my yearly checkup and I went to my doctor and she said, okay, we're scheduling this, and EKG. And I'm like, why, did you hear something with my heart? And she's like, no, your heart sounds fine. I said, so why are you giving me EKG?
Yeah.
That's extra cost. And she said, it's part of your physical. Don't worry about it. There's no extra cost to it. And, you didn't have to. I mean, my colonoscopy was what, 300 something euro, and my portion was 35
Wow.
euro.
Our out-of-pocket cost in the United States with employer-based insurance, even though it was covered as under Obamacare as preventative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's all these extra like facilities and the
facility
clinic and the
costs.
lab and the this and that.
Yes.
So it will
Yes.
end up being like $800.
Wow.
$800.
Where they rounded up to 1,000.
And
Of course.
mammograms,
Some
right?
way.
Mammograms and sonograms are compulsory. So anytime you get a mammogram, you also get a sonogram. That's compulsory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the system works differently here, but the quality is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that when you get your residency, not that we use it, but once you get your residency, you're on their universal health care.
Yeah.
Okay.
You qualify. So
Yeah.
you've got to get your national health number.
Yeah, you get your
first,
national
but
health number and stuff like that. I mean,
We don't
you
use
get
it.
private. You should have private insurance,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
you can afford to pay. It's not
Yeah.
expensive. It's,
Yeah.
it's not going to break the bank or anything because,
We
we
pay
pay.
$2,000 for the year.
Okay.
For the year,
For the
baby.
year.
Yeah, that's the year.
That's for
both
both
of
of you.
them.
That's for you too.
Both.
Both of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Nice.
See? Hmm.
And
About
they
a
will cover us in different countries, some different countries like Spain,
Yeah, in Western Europe. So that's
in Western Europe.
basically 180 a month. But
They won't cover you in the United States.
yeah. So that's
Okay.
why I kept Obamacare. I kept
Oh, yeah.
Obamacare.
And I
because
keep
Medicare.
my
Medicare.
Medicare because
Oh,
and
the
so
United States costs so much money.
Yeah.
yeah. So while living out there, you can still keep your Obamacare and all of that stuff, your medical from here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you
Oh.
pay, you
If
think
you
they gonna
pay,
argue?
yeah, you know
I can't use it here.
No.
yeah.
Right? Like I mean, if it were an emergency, maybe they would cover some things in an emergency, just
Yeah.
like if you were traveling, right? But yeah, so that's my travel insurance when I go back to the United States.
Right.
And
That's
that's
okay.
There you go with the balloons.
and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than having travel health insurance.
So it is.
Oh,
Sometimes the system is, the system is taxed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because of universal health care here in Portugal,
Mhm.
Portuguese depend on that
Okay.
free
Okay.
health care. It's an option for us if we need to really if I have a heart transplant. It can
Okay.
be
Yeah.
covered it will be covered by the state,
Okay.
but do I really want for the state to pick up the tab to open up an appointment for me to have open heart surgery?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
interject my private insurance
For part of it
in
anyway.
there for
Yeah.
part of
Okay.
it.
They're going to automatically send them to the public.
Yeah, they're going to
hospital.
send me to a public hospital. So, like in the public hospitals in the United States, when they talk about sending you to LA or UCLA Medical Center or
MLK.
yeah, it's totally different because actually the public health sector, the hospitals
Mhm.
are equipped with everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're better equipped than the private. And the private, they're most likely, like she said, they're going to send you to the public
For those
to have things
for the
taken care of.
huge things.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then you have to fall back on your private health care to take care of other things like
And
that
Yeah.
and get it taken care of immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question from Jess, or maybe a statement, Angela, everyone I knew that retires from California said they had to move out of Cali due to high taxes. Ain't that the truth? Have you considered, move to another state? Is that what you mean, Jess? Moving to another state?
well, you probably should get residency in another state before you move out of the country.
Right.
Because you will still have to pay California income
taxes.
tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And
I've been looking
so I, even though we own a home in LA,
Mhm.
That's not where residence is at.
that's not, we don't vote there. I ain't got no driver's license there.
Yeah.
You ain't
No.
taxing. You get the property tax and that's it.
We keep it out of Denver because
Yeah.
Colorado taxes are lower.
Much lower.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of residency, it says you guys have a residency in Mexico.
Mhm.
You got
Too, bruh. You always give yourself an option.
okay.
Ask him what he did to make that happen.
What'd you do, Rick?
He over here bragging.
What did I do?
He said
You
what I
cheerleaded
did.
for me.
I cheerleaded for you. I know what I did. I cheerleaded for her.
I was stressed out. I was cooking food for dad, killing all these trees, making all these copies of financials and everything else. And he's like, "Oh, that looks good, baby." Sitting over on the side drinking his beer. Yeah, that looked good.
I kiss you on the cheek.
Yeah, and he kissed me on the cheek.
You two are hilarious. Oh my God.
Pierre, let me tell you something. That woman's sitting right next to you.
Uh-huh.
That's gold. That's platinum. That's platinum. Give her all the love. Give her all the attention.
I try.
Give her those flowers. Give her those flowers.
I
Because
try.
there's things that you may not understand or may not even care to understand. But she's making sure everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, she
So
does.
yes, permanent residency in Mexico.
Now, was that difficult?
That's easy. Easy peasy.
That's
Easy.
easy. Okay.
Mexico is very easy, and that's why we always suggest use it as a backup. You
It's a
know,
bad guy.
Mexico
Okay.
is lovely. It
You-
really is. And once you get outside of the tourist areas,
Yeah.
it really is a lovely country, lovely people, great
Mhm.
prices,
Yeah.
and everything that you want. It's, you know, it's more Americanized than folks think. You know, you can still get your Walmarts and your Costco's there. You know, if that's a thing for you. If you
Yeah.
want to keep a suburban lifestyle, it's a lot easier to do in
Yeah.
Mexico.
It's a lot
Okay.
easier.
You know,
Plus, you know, if you're talking about, you know, your parents, you're closer to your parents. It's an
Exactly.
easier flight. Instead of flying across the ocean, you're just flying, you know, from Mexico to wherever.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's closer proximity.
Yeah, that was our
Yeah.
plan.
That's your
So,
plan.
you know, if we need to, if for whatever reason we need to move to Mexico, we have permanent residency, we can go to Mexico
Okay.
Okay.
and set up shop and have just as good of a life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think, in Mexico.
Okay.
But
Okay.
give yourself the choice.
Yeah.
Choices, right? Exactly. Because the way America's going, we need some choices.
We do.
Hey,
We need lots of choices.
last thing you need is to go and say, "Let me in," and they say, "No, you can't
Right.
because
Or
you're not a
let me
resident." Or
let me
Exactly.
out. That
let me
honestly
out.
is my concern, that the United States would be like, you know what? Whoever gets in office, you know what? Y'all can't leave now.
Can't leave.
And I'm like,
Too many.
too many of you leaving. You messing up our economy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So how did you guys find and build your network, your support system out there, and get that sense of community? What were your steps?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Can't hear you.
They
Lost-
they opened the door.
They open the door. to the problem.
So I'm trying to yell at them. Close the dang door. So two things. One is join the Facebook groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Join the immigrant/expat Facebook groups. If there's a Black Facebook group, join that one, or a POC, People of Color Facebook group, join that one.
okay.
We met the majority of our beginning network through Black in
Black in
Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah,
Okay.
that Facebook
I'm with
group.
that one. Yeah.
And then a mutual friend actually introduced me to one of my closest friends. That, like, the second day I got here, you know, she's texting me. She's like, "Oh, my friend just moved there. You guys should connect."
Whose house we're over now?
Whose house we're over
We're
right
over her
now.
house now.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, and when we would go, we went to a few of the Black in Portugal events, and everyone was just so gracious and so kind and so giving and helpful. And, oh, you got to do this. Oh, get this app and this, and oh, this is where you find this and everything like that. So, and we were here for a month. And that's the other thing. We, you know, this little, you know, 2 weeks, you know, because we think like Americans, oh, I've got 2 weeks. That's not enough. So we were here for a month. That means we got to go to dinner parties and things like that. And so when we went back to the States, did our interview, we packed and came back. And when we came back, you know, 2 days later, we had Ric's birthday and we had dinner with friends.
Okay.
That second night here, you know, and we hung
Nice.
out all night
Mhm.
and drinks afterwards and all of that kind of stuff. And so we already had a foundation of folks
Okay.
that we vibed with
Okay.
Okay.
from
And
the scouting trip.
the thing that you realize too is when you get here and you get around these people, is everybody's like-minded
For the most
Yeah.
part.
for the most part. They're like-minded people that understand, you know, what you're doing or what you want to do and how you're going about doing things. So,
Yeah.
because you always ask that question, where were you when I was in the United States? You know,
Yeah.
where were
Yeah.
you? I couldn't find a person like
Yeah.
you. I couldn't find a you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, this is what it took to bring us up or bring you about, because they asked you the same question.
Yeah, it takes a certain type of personality to be bold enough to do this,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
You have to be open-minded. You have to be a constant learner.
Mhm.
You have to be a bit adventurous, right? You have to be free-thinking, independent,
Mhm.
not really dependent upon what other people's expectations of you are, because I'm sure
Exactly.
you know most of these people have family members that are like,
Mhm.
"What you doing? Why would you ever want to leave the United States?" and whatever
Right.
else they decide,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And so it does take a certain type of personality to leave their home country, and especially to move to a country where their native language is not
English.
the native language of that country, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a lot of people that speak English there? The natives, natives, Lord, but the locals, there's a lot of people that speak English still.
I would say
they teach it in school.
They teach it in school, so younger people are going to really speak more
so
English.
Millennials on down, yes.
Okay.
40 and up, hit and miss.
Okay.
But then here in Lisbon, there's a lot of immigrants.
Right.
Okay.
So Lisbon, yes.
So all of the Southeast Asians speak English, of course. They'll speak English before they speak Portuguese.
Right.
You know, so the Pakistanis, Indians, you know, people like that.
But if you live further out, because we know people that, well, I want to live in the country, or I want to live in this small town or village or something like that. Well, no, most likely they're not going to speak English.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have to. No. They're not used to it. So, but the Algarve and stuff is more or less. Every time we talk to people, it's like Algarve speaks all English. Because that's what they're used to. They're used to catering to the Brits, Chinese, Americans, and stuff like that. So they're going to speak. They're going to speak English.
That's where they're going to be.
We'll be in the Algarve, and then we're coming to Lisbon because
So you won't have any issues in Algarve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more town life, less city life.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to try that because I read this article. It said the Algarve is like the California of Portugal. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I heard you talking, Halisi, and said it's very much of a beach town. And I'm like, does that mean beach town like Santa Cruz?
No, not California.
Santa Cruz.
Like Montecito. Like it's a small little beach towns.
Yeah.
It's not a city.
Okay.
You know, it's there, you know, like here, you turn the corner and around every other corner, there's live theater, right?
Right.
And so, and of all different nationalities or, you know, all different hues, I should say. I don't know what they are. I just see the pictures of the actors, right? So all different color folks, you know, and like we were walking from the place that we're going to have the meetup in June, and we were going to the bus stop, and I see this theater with this Black lady, and it's just her with all these dreadlocks and stuff. I took a picture. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about, but I want to see her. Right? And so theater and all of that stuff, that you're going to find that in Lisbon. You'll probably find that in Porto. But and of course you'll find some of it in the Algarve. But you know, y'all are city folk.
Yeah. We are. And our one last question. So what advice would you give couples considering moving abroad together based on your own experiences?
The two things that I would say is if your communication is not right, don't move until it is.
Okay.
Because everywhere you go, there you are. Like you need to have those conversations. Any of the stuff, don't bring that stuff with you. Like any of the resentments that you're still holding on to or any of that stuff. Well, I remember let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go and be able to talk about what you want and what you would like this next chapter to look like, honestly and authentically, with no preconceived notions about what you expect the other person to say.
Right.
Based upon history, right?
Right.
And then money. That's the second thing. Yeah. Don't let money be the thing that messes you up.
Yeah. Okay. Make it about you as a couple. It's all about you as a couple because you're dependent on each other out here. Because actually, nobody else knows you. Nobody else speaks the language that you speak.
Right.
And they don't know how to help you. So make it about you.
Yeah.
If you love each other, if you like each other, enhance that. If you don't like each other, don't do it.
If you were the one calling your buddy, calling your girlfriends, talking about, let me tell you what he said today. Like that's not going to work.
It's not.
That's not going to work. And I realized when we were in Barcelona and I was taking some pictures of these huge, like crazy expensive yachts. These
Mhm.
yachts were the size of like cruise ships, as far as I was concerned.
Wow.
And then he was on this platform behind me taking some other pictures. And then by the time I turned around, I couldn't find him.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
And this was our first time in Barcelona, and it looked a lot different than it does now,
yeah.
Mhm.
good and bad. And so I'm looking around and not understanding that I don't have to worry about, probably not have to worry about guns or knives,
Mhm.
only
Right.
pickpockets. That's really all
Yeah.
you have to worry about, right?
Yeah.
But see, I'm American,
Yeah.
and I panicked. And that's when I realized this is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
she was freaked out. I'm like, I'm okay.
and I never, if you would have asked me the day before, I would have said, no, I'd have been fine. I'm good. But then
Oh,
But then it hit you.
that's when I realized
Yeah,
how
Yeah.
important.
you really realize, and it's like, oh my goodness, where is she at? Where is he
yeah.
at? Are they okay? She went to where did you go? You went somewhere the other day, and I was like, oh, you went out with Twana. You guys were hanging out and doing stuff like that, and she,
Tawana always gets me in
yeah,
trouble.
and she, well, yeah, it wasn't trouble, but she was gone, and I knew she was gone. I knew she was going to do certain things, but then I was like, okay, she should be home by a certain time. And I mean, I could track her on my phone too, see
Mhm.
where she is and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, it's dark now. Where are you? Not so much that I was worried that anybody's going to bother her or anything, because they
Right.
just don't do
It's
that.
Portugal.
They
Yeah.
don't do that
Yeah.
here. So it's like, okay, let me see where she is, because she should be. She says she was coming home. She says she was on the metro and stuff like that. And I could see all her different moves of where she is. And then I saw that she was coming up the hill to where we live.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I'm good. I could see her, and I could time her then. Then I could
Yeah.
look out the window and said, she should be coming around that corner right now. And there she was.
Okay.
So it's just, you're there for each other.
Yeah.
You're with each other,
Yeah.
and it's your world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make the best of your
And
world.
you've got to make the relationship a
You got to
priority.
make
You
your
can't take it for, you
Yep.
cannot take it for granted, and you cannot think that you can just tootle along and it's going to continue to get better.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah.
Do we
And then-
agree on everything? No.
No.
You know,
Mm-mm.
we don't
Yeah.
argue. We
Yeah.
never really argue,
Yeah.
but
because he's going to agree with me at the end of the day anyway.
he thinks.
Look, see, that's why I like her. I understand you, Halisi. I understand.
Uh-huh.
He thinks, Pierre.
Yeah. We right here. I'm looking right at you.
Okay.
We like, yeah, we just
I
say
got
yes,
you.
dear.
I got you, bro.
Yeah. I was told a long time ago the best 2 words you can learn is yes, dear.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, baby.
Yes, dear. Yes, baby. However, that's just, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
And Halisi, you're gonna have to tell me who cuts your hair, because I'm gonna need someone out in Portugal. Cut my hair.
Absolutely. So when you come out, because the first barber that I had, I can't find him anymore. So
Oh,
here's
okay.
the other thing, guys. If you're going to move abroad,
Mhm.
you join the Facebook groups. Then when you start the process, join the WhatsApp groups. So there's
Okay.
private WhatsApp groups. Like Black in Portugal has a WhatsApp group,
Mhm.
but Heather, who is the admin for Black in Portugal, also has another WhatsApp group. And then like we started in a WhatsApp group. And so those are I just got on the WhatsApp group and said, I need a barber.
Oh.
I can't
Okay.
find
Yeah.
mine.
And
And
people say,
and so I found this guy who's actually on this side of the river, and
Okay.
for 12, wash
how
and
much?
cut.
How
12,
much?
12. I gave him 20.
Tw-
Yeah.
12 euro?
So anytime you need different things, Pierre, if you want to play or whatever, and I need to find a venue to lay down some stuff or do this and that. It's the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just reaching out and say, oh yeah, you need to talk to Ashante. He runs blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
and and they'll give you an introduction and hook you up.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what we do.
That's how we roll in
That's how we
in
roll.
Portugal. Now I don't know
Okay.
about y'all in these other countries, but that's how we
That's how
roll.
we do.
So I know I'll be out there. Me and my sister and another friend of ours, we'll be out there in June because we
Yeah.
definitely want to. This June, definitely want to do the meetup with you guys. So, and I'll be also while I'm in Lisbon talking to Sandra Pinto.
Pinto, Gomes Pinto. Sim.
Yep. I'll be
Yeah,
talking to her about getting my NIF. Is that what
Yes.
it is?
Yes, we need.
Yep. So I have an appointment with her already scheduled. So I'm excited. So I wish he could come, but he'll be busy.
I'll be
So
busy. I got shows and all kinds.
No, that's understandable, bro. We'll get you. We gonna get you out.
No,
Yeah.
I'll get out there. Hopefully, if this whole thing don't fall through in July, at least I'll be out that way. I don't know how far Santa Maria is from you guys, but
We'll look and see.
yeah.
So I see in the chat, Vicky saying Sandra Gomez Pinto. No, it's Gomes, Gomes Pinto.
Oh,
yeah. Pronunciations are.
And it's not Gomez. It's not spelled that.
Yeah.
It's with S.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's that. Yeah. I just know Pinto, Sandra. Okay. Yep. That's who I'll be seeing. I can't wait.
Right.
Yeah, she's good. She was one of the major sponsors for our Move to Portugal Virtual Summit, right?
Yeah.
And that says something.
Yeah.
Because we got three Black folks putting together something.
Right.
And Portuguese people are saying, here's some money. We want access to your audience.
Wow. Okay.
That's respect.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
Respect. And so we highly recommend Sandra.
Okay.
Definitely. Angela, we look forward to you coming here. Pierre, we also look forward to you coming here.
Yes, I'll be coming.
But in the meantime, we're gonna turn Angela out. She's gonna be out in these streets.
We're gonna
have her
on that Portuguese wine.
She's gonna say,
I heard the wine in Porto is real. The port wine. Port
wine is fantastic.
She's gonna say, Pierre, who? Baby, I thought you were
never. We're gonna take you to the taco spot, Sangria Friday.
Oh, the tacos.
She might not come back home, Pierre.
You might want to try to rearrange some stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
It's all about community.
Yeah.
Looking out for each other, having fun, exchanging information and just enjoying our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So anything else, baby, before we head on out?
I think that's it. Look, I can talk. I can keep talking.
Yeah, he can. So thank you guys again so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it. Can't wait to meet you guys in June. And I think that's it. We're going to be out. Yeah. You guys enjoy your party.
Enjoy the party.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.